Today we'll be learning about CSS Position. This is another CSS property which helps us to create those elements which are fixed on the page. For example, you will see there is a button of Customize Chrome down here. So when you scroll this page, all the content is going up, but this button stays at the same position. And few more things. For example, when you hover over this button, you will see a tooltip is appearing on top of the page. These things are appearing like they are above the page, so it kind of makes our page 3D, not by look but by their functionality. And you might have seen some of the headers that stays on the page when you scroll the page. Those things are also made by using CSS Position. To learn CSS Position, we'll make a new file called position.html, and here we'll follow the proper HTML structure: doc type, HTML tag, head tag, and then body tag. Okay, now save this, and now we can open this file with live server. Here we go. Let's give this a title. Let's call this position. Now inside this body element, let's create two div 1 and div 2. Save this. Okay, now we have these two div elements. Let's give both the div elements some background color and some height and width so that we can see it easily. For that, again we'll use inline styles. Here we'll write our CSS code. Let's give this a background color of aqua, and then some height, let's say 100 pixels, some width, let's say again 100 pixels. Now let's apply the same styles to this div element also, except the background color. Copy, paste. Okay, let's change the background color to yellow. Now we have these two div elements with height and width of 100 pixels. Now let's introduce the position property of CSS. We'll write position. So the default value for position property is static. Save this and you will see no change, because by default both these elements have a position property of static. Now for div 2 element, let's give this a position of fixed. Save this. Okay, now position fixed means this element will always remain at this position. Even if you scroll down the page, it will always remain at this position. You'll see at this point we cannot scroll down our page because there is not enough content on this page to scroll down. Now here is a little hack how you can scroll down the page even without having enough content on the page. What you can do is, since we know this entire page is a body element, so if we will provide this body element some bottom padding, then this padding, so that we can scroll it. So for doing that, we'll go in body tag, and here we'll use the inline styles, write style, and then here write padding bottom, and let's give this a very big value, let's say 1111 pixels. Save this. Now you will see we can scroll this page, and you will also see when we are scrolling this page, this element is going up with the page, but this element always remains at this position no matter where the page is going. With this position fixed property, we also get 4 special property which lets us decide the position of this element on this page. See, currently this element is appearing at this position. We can change this, whether we want this to appear here or here or something like at this position. For that we have 4 values. First is top. So this value determines what should be the distance between top of the page and this element. Here if we write 0 pixels, then this will stick to the top of the page. This element will go above this element, and if we set the left value to 0 also, which means this element will stick to the left of the page. Okay, now save this. There we go. Now this element is sticking to this corner. We can even make this to stick here. So for that, let's remove these values, and here write bottom 0 and right 0. There we go. We can also give some space, just like this button has. We can write, let's say, 10 pixels. Perfect. And now you might be wondering what happens if we give both, let's say, right value and a left value. For example, here we are giving a right value of 10 pixel. Let's say we also give this a left value of 10 pixel. Let's see. Left 10 pixel, save. Now this element moved to this location. This is because we have fixed the width of this div element to be 100 pixel. So this element cannot have the width of 100 pixel if it is following both the instruction of left 10 pixel and right 10 pixel. So that's why we are providing both the value left and right, which means we are providing this element a window of this much space. So this element by default goes to the start of the page. Let's say if we haven't fixed the width of this element, then what would happen? Then this element will stretch across the page to fulfill both this property. In the same way, we can even have a top value, let's say top 40 pixel. Save this. Again, we are providing it both top and bottom value. So by default, it wants to go to the top because of its fixed height. So let's remove this height property. Now save this. There we go. Now it stretches across this page to fulfill the top value of 40 pixel and the bottom value of 10